So this question comes up a lot. Why do I feel the need to emotionally eat, but my sister or my cousin or my friend, they don't feel the need to stuff their face every night? Why do they have different ways to cope with their emotions? And for a long time, I genuinely thought there was something wrong with me because I was one of those nighttime binge eaters. Then I found out the truth, that this is not a flaw. This all comes down to how you've learned to self-regulate or how you've not learned to self-regulate. I was never taught how to regulate my emotions in a healthy manner. And most of us weren't taught. Our parents weren't taught how, and honestly, this should really be taught in school. So if you are never taught how to process emotions, how to sit with the discomfort, or how to move through the stress, you naturally go for that thing that's going to feel safe, familiar, that's going to give you a quick dopamine hit, and that's going to make you feel good. And for a lot of people, that thing is food. Because food works, right? It soothes, it distracts you, and it gives you a quick moment of relief. Okay, so it's a natural coping mechanism, right? We know that. But then why doesn't my friend do this? This is the part I struggled with. And it usually comes down to a couple of things. They may have grown up in an environment where expressing their emotions freely was encouraged, or they naturally found other ways to cope early on. Things like going for a walk, moving, journaling, just sitting with the discomfort, or they might have other vices such as drinking or smoking. So when stress comes up, their brain doesn't automatically go for food. Not because they're stronger, have more willpower, but because they have different tools. And if you're new here, I'm Jill. I'm a former binge and emotional eater. And now I help people break free from the cycle and feel more in control around food. So if this sounds like you, hit subscribe because I post every Thursday. Okay, so now we know that your friend might have different ways to cope with stress. But there's also a biological layer to this. Some people might be more sensitive to food, so they might get a bigger dopamine hit from food. So when they feel overwhelmed, food gives them that sense of relief and that dopamine hit that's much stronger than it would be for someone else. And then your brain learns, okay, this helps, I'm gonna do it again. And then it becomes a pattern. Let me know in the comment section, is this something that you resonate with? And let me know your experience and maybe how you've overcome this or where you're at right now. So emotional eating doesn't mean you're weak, okay? It's a coping mechanism that you've learned that served you for a while, but now obviously it's not. And the good news is that because of neuroplasticity, you can now unlearn what you've learned. Your brain is really adaptable, and with repetition, you can create new ways of responding. But it's not just about stopping emotional eating, okay? You can't take it away and not have anything to replace it. You need to have new tools. You want to learn how to support yourself in different ways. Now, if you want to learn a few strategies on how to cope with emotional eating, I actually have a video on this, which you should see on the screen, that gives you a couple of strategies to get you started. So if you ever thought, what the hell is wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. You just learned a way to cope. So in my binge eating days, right, nighttime was the hardest part. I could not control myself around food at all. So if you're going through this right now, I put together a few CBT techniques that will help you stop the urge in extracts, and you should be able to find it in the comment section. So thanks for watching. If this resonated with you as well, let me know in the comments, and I will see you next Thursday.